is who they are, but they're winning, and they're doing a lot of timely winning. You know, even last night, it was their 9th comeback victory of the season. And also Kenny Gajewski's 82nd win over a ranked opponent, 7th of the season for Oklahoma State. All right, tell us everything we need to know about Ryan Maddox.
Well, this is a big start for a freshman. It's going to throw low 60s, high 50s. Of course, she is left-handed, so that is the key look. On a deep staff for Arizona, it's going to throw that curveball right there. Left-handed batter at the plate, and Talon Edwards is going to run that curve away.
So we keep an eye on the movement. Left-on-left matchup to start things. Edwards takes high and inside and off the plate, and that nicked her. So right away, trying to go away and then back in. She is burned just a bit, and so you've got good speed. Here's what you talked about to crank things up right away.
And you can see in our frame, all of a sudden, right before first pitch, started raining a little bit here at Hillenbrand.
It's kind of been that sort of day today where the rain comes, it's here briefly, then it goes away. It's not dramatic rain that is expected. As a matter of fact, you had to dig hard in any sort of a forecast to find it. Kind of sporadic. Almost the feeling of we've landed in Seattle, that in and out quick rain. You know that feeling. Here is the aforementioned Tia Warsup, drops that one down, foul up the line. Tia last night scored a run, drew a walk, and was 0 for 2 otherwise. But what a year it has been for the talented athlete, hitting .414. Walks enough, that on-base percentage .488. And if she does get on, she can go 15 stolen bases. They defense are tight accordingly. As she offers it that one, runner on the move, active and a stolen base. It's not a failed hit and run if the runner steals a base at all. It's just a good old-fashioned stolen base.
Absolutely, you have that hit and run in motion, and if it's a ball, you're taught to swing through it a little bit late if you can, protect your teammate. It also helps just having that situation with a left-handed hitter up at the plate with Sydney Stewart, the catcher, being a right-handed catcher.
Rolls that one to the middle of the diamond. Diving attempt by Beal. Oklahoma State sends the runner on around. The throw is high. The tag on the helmet. Safe at the plate. And Oklahoma State strikes first. Aggressive on the base paths. That hit batter comes around to roost. 1-0.
Well, it took all 7 innings yesterday for the Cowgirls to get going offensively here, setting the tone just quickly in the first. Simple softball. Getting on via the free pass and the hit by pitch. Stealing over to second base, and just how good that hand eye is there from Tia Warsup. Not doing too much, just letting the ball get deep, seeing it up the middle.
Here was last night's hero, defensively and offensively, Rosie Davis. She took a pitch, and I'm thinking that the pitch she dealt with from Stoddard last night, I think Miranda wanted it a little further in, and she was ready for it. Just dropped the bat head on the softball and crushed it to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. And it's funny, when it sailed out of here and turned out to be the decisive 3-run home run, there was absolutely no doubt that it was gone the moment she hit it.
The reaction here from Davis was so good, just swinging, hands up in the air. Of course, the coming home to your teammates, knowing that swing could take you home.
36 RBIs on the year. Last year it was 33 RBIs, so that's what you hope to do as a player. 1 year, first year, put up your numbers. Year 2, sophomore, add to those numbers, and on you go. Turned that one over as it dots the outside corner. 2-2. Missed last year because of an injury. Turned out to be a redshirt year for the Gatorade Player of the Year in 2023, which, by the way, tip of the cap to that, out of Clovis North High School in Fresno. Boy, she's got to get rid of it. Can't do so in time. Little swinging bunt, slow roller that hugged the line. Sniffin played it back. I'm not sure if she comes and gets it. You tell me.
You have to come get this, obviously. I don't know if it's right here, the decision. You see, she doesn't even move her feet. And in softball, if your feet aren't moving, bad things are happening. If she takes a couple of steps forward, maybe throws on the run, she has a cannon and have a chance.
Well, what a start. You can almost feel a little bit, and it's funny, you have your meal, You go to sleep, you get up, you have your breakfast, you have your scouting meeting again. All that goes on between last night's end and tonight's start, you have batting practice, and yet you can feel the momentum and the confidence. Settles that bunt right outside the circle. Got to get to the bag. She does. Devin got back there, popped the tag on her. Devin had vacated her spot, Devin Netz that is, in order thinking to make the play, but she hustled back nicely. Good bunt.
That was almost adventurous defensively. Arizona's very fortunate they're able to get an out.
Well, when Ryan grabbed it on a hop, she actually turned and thought she had to play at third. That's when things got really unique for her. Godwin takes low and inside. Carly Godwin, a sophomore. Some good, talented young players, and you talk about Warsop and Davis and Godwin, the future of this program. Patient hitter. She's walked 16 times on base, close to 450 for Carly. 1 for 4 last night. Corner infield, even with the bag. Outfield straight up. 3-0 the count. Mike Bartling behind the plate. Here's a bit from the crowd here. Brett Higgins is at first. Smokey Eads is at third, a.k.a. my bestie, as he was called last night.
That's right.
Spun that one in. Now a called strike. And some words coming from that first base coach's box. All right. Mike Bartling already knowing that everyone cares about him here tonight. Young Maddox sees that one shot foul. Kenny Gajewski, look out over there.
Oh, man. Yeah, back up a little bit. I will say, Coach Gajewski did a really nice job getting down the line to send Talon Edwards home. He had kind of been behind the box there and really hustled, got in position to make sure that send his cowgirl home, but I don't know. Runner at second, I might back up a little bit more with Godwin at the plate.
Gajewski's first year as the head man with this successful program back in 2016. That one is rolled, fair ball. That one heads toward the corner. That will plate a couple of runs. Carly Godwin gets it done. The Cowgirls lead it by a score of 3-0. Looks like when they come out, they're going to let us know that, as we have heard, the call will stand. Smokey Eads lets us know. Fair ball. And this is the kind of start the Cowgirls wanted. We talked about, the live RPI and what that was able to do for them with this road win last night. They bounced 4 spots. It's unofficial, but it's 16 right now. Arizona at 14. You win a series and do so tonight, it even helps more. You can only go so high. There's teams above you that, won't drop. Here's another fun athlete to watch. Seeing her Wednesday and now last night, Megan Delgadillo takes a strike over the outside corner. Good spin on that one, pitch number 18. 357, 414 on base percentage. And another big-time speed threat. Lifted left field, that's where you want Delgadillo hitting the softball. Good pitch. And a coveted second out, down 3-0. Dakota Kennedy makes the play out there, the Gold Glover in left.
It's beautiful now. Rain has stopped, and you can see how clear it is out there. Not having to fight any sun on that left side of the field.
That's a pretty shot. Clouds have come to life, certainly. You saw the rainbow as we came on the air. Clair Timm has really been seeing the softball well. So last night, first at bat, you noticed something about the approach, right?
Yeah, she was dialed in. And from the first at bat, how many pitches she saw. Just first time seeing Devin Netz, very comfortable, the junior, and she's hitting down at the bottom of the lineup. Yesterday was in the 8-hole, gets moved up 1 after a home run. You move up a spot after a big night.
Kennedy High School in Southern California is where she played, far enough away to move the runner to third. And then by at bat number 3, you knew something good had to happen, and this was it.
You can just tell when a hitter is dialed in. And Clair Timm was dialed in, and this wasn't even a bad pitch, just goes up to get it out the reach of Dakota Kennedy, and the celebration was on, and that was the life that spurred that 4-run inning in the 7th for Oklahoma State. It's all started by that swing, Clair Timm.
Runner at third, another chance for Timm, 1-1 the count. Just missed the inside corner. Stewart doing her best to present behind the plate the pitches for Mike Bartling. Excellent defensive catcher, game caller, and pitch framing is one of her strengths as well. 2-2 the count.
Really haven't seen any off-speed looks from Ryan Maddox. It's been mostly just curve to both sides of the plate with the back door against the left-handed hitters and just the regular running away.
You know it's going that way and you lift it that way. On the 27th of March against Georgia Tech. There's a nice history in what she has accomplished. Originally from New Mexico, Artesia, New Mexico. Couple of years, nearly 300 innings for the Baylor Bears. As that one's lined down the left field line and it's foul. You were talking about Dakota Kennedy. There were a couple of times where Oklahoma State last night shut her down at a really opportune time. 2 big at-bats, they got her.
That was the All-American showdown between Kennedy and Malin in the circle, and Malin won both of those big matchups where there were runners threatening and in scoring position. Got 2 big ground ball outs to second base.
Having another incredible year, Kennedy. Hits that one firm on the ground. Let's see how far. It rolls all the way to the wall. She touches second. She's looking at 3. Dakota with the triple. You were saying?
Yeah, ran through a stop sign there. This is the hitter that wants to get things going, especially about having a hitless night. Last night, watching her run the bases here, scorches this ball. You can see where Delgadillo was shaded way over the other side. And you can see that ball in front of her as a base runner. You can watch her not look up to Coach Lappin in the third base box at all. She was going 3 head down, ball in front of her. It's pretty fun to watch.
On the ground, it's grabbed and turned into an out. That's a nice play by Riley Crandall. Shockey just trying to slap that one right past the circle, couldn't do so. Glove went down quickly.
That's very difficult to do in the circle. Minimal reaction time. Presence to look Kennedy back at third, make the out at first.
Kaya Altmaier, 1 of 2 last night, had a walk, so reached base a couple of times. 0-1 the count to Kaya. 4 home runs, 35 walks to go along with those 45 hits. So as far as OPS is concerned, you can't get much better than this 3-hole hitter, slugging .670. On base of close to .550. That screwball dips outside, 1-1 the count. Patrick Henry High School, a San Diegan out of Southern California. 2-1 the count.
Altmaier has a great eye at the plate. One of the most patient hitters in this Arizona lineup.
Now.
She rolls in her career at about a .440 on base percentage. That's since she walked in the door here. Those numbers for the daughter of Julie and Greg have been pumped up even more so this year. You may remember Sis Sierra, softball player, UC Santa Barbara. The Gauchos. Firm but away.
does she expand the zone.
It's exhausting facing hitters like this, though, isn't it?
I would always rather face a free swinger at the plate.
So 1-3-2. Lines that one to left field, toward the wall. Off the glove out there of Warsip, and a run will score. Running hard, Altmaier with a big turn, and it's 3-1. Kaya Altmaier puts a solid at bat on Oklahoma State.
A lot of pitches, it always favors the hitter, so she draws the count to full, forces Crandall to bring something over the heart of the plate. This was a good effort out and left by Wartop off the end of the glove, and the race is on. Dakota Kennedy scores, another runner in scoring position, and Darren, you love to see the response for Arizona. Of course, Oklahoma State jumps out, 3 runs in the first, but Arizona hadn't scored since the first inning of it yesterday, so you know the dugout, a little bit of life, much needed for the Wildcats.
Someone kiddingly said before the game on our production team, as Devin Netz takes strike one, the dangerous Devin Netz, that we may be playing a 15-14 game. That's kind of an expert account at this point. We may be playing a 15-14 game. We'll see. Sorry, pitchers, that I just said that.
Well, I know. I get it. Offense gets ratings, all right?
Beautiful changeup, 0-2 the count on Nets. So we talk about the power. It's double-digit home runs to go along with the 14 wins as a pitcher. One of the best in the conference with 12 home runs. Devin on the ground. The big shift was on with 3 defenders over there, which had Megan Bloodworth slid on over and fires it on across in time for the out. Trying to keep it at 1, 3-1 the score. Nets is erased, and now it's the catcher, Sydney Stewart. It was a great moment last night when the ballpark had emptied and the teams had met with their prospective coaches down each side, right field, left field line. When Sydney Stewart rocked across, and right about home plate, she met up with Ruby Malin. Her foe the entire night, but her battery mate for a couple of years at Washington, and they embraced, and it was emotional. You pointed it out to me, it was pretty touching. You know, you don't do really much fraternizing during the game,
right?
But you could tell how close they were during that moment. They both broke down.
Yeah, it was really sweet watching them two just catch up, and there was a long hug and a lot of laughter, of course. Pitcher-catcher bond, obviously always so special, and spend a lot of time together in the bullpen on the road, and both going their separate ways, transferring from Washington, but of course finding their way back together, competing on the other side here in the Big 12.
I got her. It's a little bit too far in with the screwball that time. And an opportunity for a hitter who's also a pitcher.
Just respecting the power that Sydney Stewart has. Got a little bit too in.
Miranda Stoddard last night reached a couple of times, couple of walks, one of them a bases loaded walk. Stoddard shoots that one right back to the screen. Hard to argue with those numbers, isn't it? 11 home runs, 32 runs batted in for Stoddard. And an OPS of more than 1,400.
Pitching coach for Oklahoma State, Terry Eberly. All-American, Big 12 Pitcher of the Year. Huge addition for Coach Gajewski. Also adding Vanessa Shippey on staff, Big 12 Player of the Year. We were talking about Amber Freeman, the new addition for Arizona, assistant coach on the other side, and I was thinking, wow, like both of these staffs just absolutely loaded with All-Americans, conference players of the year, staying in the game, especially very young in their careers as well.
And coaches, head coaches that is, that are in 2 different places, one a little bit more veteran, and the man on that side, and a more younger coach, albeit a long-time assistant, now a fourth-year head coach. But both of them, despite their experience level as head coaches, are really solid delegators. If you bring, and you could speak to this, seeing the Arizona program up close a little bit more, if you bring in someone that's talented, sure, you mentor them and you guide them, but you also trust them.
And adding the third coach was so huge for our sport. There's so many young players that are turning into coaches. We're talking about young in their careers that have so much knowledge, and for them to exit our sport if they want to stay in it. And so now we have the ability to pay those coaches, keep them in the game. It's just so important for the development of the game.
Look at Freeman talking hitting right there. That's a great shot. Just talking, hitting. Hot shot out to third. Excellent play. Ask Weber State. They know her name. She went into the 5th inning against Weber State. You could argue, well, this is a different kind of vibe or energy, but good pitching's good pitching. In that game, it was a win into the 5th inning. She went 5 against Central Florida. That was a win. What are some of the checkpoints you look at when you're watching Ryan Maddox if she's to be on?
Location, and there was a little bit of that, maybe some dancing around the zone, and balls were in the dirt a little bit.
Just below the knees, or so we're told.
It's always tough first inning as a pitcher. You've got to find the strike zone. You've got to figure out what is going to be called. Sometimes zones can be lower, higher, of course, in and out.
3-1 the count. We'll warn you, and you'll love this if you're a Cowgirls fan, this is a hitter that lives for the 3-1 count. This is a hitter that if you make a mistake, it'll be dancing in the bleachers out there in left field. Work with big power, big raw power. So you pitch her like that, right on the black of home plate.
You could tell she was looking inside. And when you have a 3-1 count, you have the luxury of splitting the plate and really just going all in on one side of the plate. But Ryan Maddox goes outside.
The DP loads that back leg up and rolls it out towards short. The sure-handed shortstop Taylor Beal, it's out number 1 as she zips it on across to Devin Nets.
Well, that is what Coach Lowe is looking for out of her freshman in the circle. Falling behind, of course, 3-0, but getting back in the count and making sure you do not allow that leadoff runner on, especially the 8-hole hitter. Really nice response from Maddox in the circle.
I think Bloodworth was 1 for 3 last night. That unique wide open stance, then she closes it up and takes strike 1. Last 10 games have been good to her. She's got 8 hits in those 10 games. She's been hit 3 times. That's nearly a 380 on base. She homered against ASU. As a matter of fact, the last 10 games, she's got 2 homers. Cordell, Georgia, Crisp County High School. And all you CPAs listening out there, tax accountants, don't talk to her about this time of year because all the accountants are just dead right now. It's tax season. She is an accounting major, though. Don't warn her about it or she'll jump out of that major. Tell her what it's like April 16th. She lifts that one foul.
Did you turn in your taxes yet?
Yes. Yes.
I don't like that stress. Just get it over with.
I speak of it because I have a rookie, a daughter, who graduated Northern Arizona, but she's out in the real world now, and this is her first tax season as an accountant.
Man.
We haven't seen her in weeks. As an accountant, yes. Yeah. Not as an earner, but yes, she's both. So we just have to, don't warn Megan Bloodworth. Tell her what April 16th is like.
Once May comes around, you can come out of hibernation.
Nice job, by the way, behind the plate by Sydney Stewart. Bloodworth, the daughter of Joe and John. Well, she put a good at bat on her. Making her throw a lot of pitches in this inning, and that just helps Edwards and Worcester. They're getting now another look at the craftiness of Maddox.
Well, if I'm Arizona, I'm not very comfortable walking and giving free passes to hitters that are in front of Talon Edwards. This is a hitter just absolutely dialed in.
Homered in the Super last year against Arizona. And then had 3 hits last night. that one deep toward left field, just shy of the track. Play is made out there by Dakota Kennedy. Here's with this uniquely gifted athlete who only started 6-7 times last year. Only had 30 total at bats. And she kind of lost that spot in the fall, but when others puttered around her a bit, she stepped in and she hasn't let it go.
It's always such an impressive thing for players to enter the lineup when they haven't consistently been. That's a great play by Kiki.
You are exactly right. Kiki with an amazing play. Watch this hop. Whoa! Not that glove. From her knees, Escobar dynamic. Popped back to the screen.
It's a big start for her in the circle. Touched on this last inning, but was out for quite a while due to injury. So, of course, your team gets that big Friday night dub, and you've got to have someone on day 2, game 2, who's ready to go. And of course, Oklahoma State has the All-American in the circle, and when you have that, you have the ability to make a run to Women's College World Series. You have to have an ace to get where you want to go, but you also have to have the depth and the quality innings.
Down off the end of the bat, serves it into left field. It's a base hit for Jenna Sniffen.
A little off the end of the bat there for Sniffen, just due to the curve and the spin. Outside pitch, you see it, yep, on the end of the bat. That's always so frustrating as a pitcher because you're like, man, that was kind of the result that I wanted, just found too much grass out in the field.
That pitch is up and away. 1-0 the count. Taylor Beal can glove. She handles the bat well, is effective, can do what is needed. Single and a sacrifice bunt last night, and a ton of contact. That one's grabbed in foul territory. And we'll do it again. Outfield swung around, as they should be for Beal, who will use the opposite field very effectively. A lot of room in right center. Good take.
Also in this situation, strategically as a pitcher, you're rarely going to be throwing the ball inside. You're going to be living on the outside corner with the runner at first base, feeding the left side of your D. Just whether or not what we see Taylor Beal do at the plate, we've seen a little bit of everything. Slap, sacrifice, have a little timeout with third base coach. This is a big moment. Make sure that we know exactly what the game plan is. You get the gift of a leadoff runner at the bottom of the lineup. How can we be productive in this moment?
It's kind of a charming moment, by the way. Beal basically said, no, I understand the sign. And then it was made clear, I understand that, but I've called timeout. We're going to talk now.
Yes, exactly.
2-2 the count after the Sniffen single to open up this inning. Taylor the junior, Folsom, California, at the Vista Del Lago High School 3 times. She was her team's most valuable player. Hits that one hard, and it's off the glove at third, on to first. What a great effort and a recovery. Edwards reached out to her left, off the leather. Bloodworth was there to clean things up. Dynamic play.
You can see there's a little bit of a conversation right now with the coaching staff of Arizona asking Taylor Beal, do you think you were safe? Remember, Arizona has already used one challenge, and the Carly Godwin doubled down the line. They will not use another here.
Kiki Escobar. I don't know how Kiki made that play. Runner going in front of her last inning. A bad hop, went down to a knee, and she slaps that one off to the left side. Charging, anticipating Edwards. Did the right thing quickly. Turned and looked for a moment over her shoulder as Sniffen moved to third, but you get that second out. That's what you care about.
productive also from Escobar, even though you do have an out. It's doing something. That's just the key in a game like this. You saw this in a game like yesterday. Pitchers duel. Arizona had 10 runners left on base. They just were not able to capitalize. Had so many chances, especially you think about the 8 free passes that were issued by Ruby Malin in the circle. If you get that many free passes against a pitcher like Ruby Malin, you have to find a way to score more than 2 runs. So even though Escobar is out there, it's productive. That's what I look at on my scorebook. But productive, making things happen.
Well, you make a couple of things, too, if you think about it right now. You make a catcher have to make a play if anything's in the dirt. That tightens up the defense a little bit more, and if there's a throw that's even to the first baseman that can't scoop it out on a ground out, that run scores. So I understand what you're saying.
A pitcher in the circle, you feel a runner at third base more than you feel a runner at second.
Kyra Aycock, you saw her start to warm up and move around in the bullpen out there. 34 on that Cowgirls jersey. So we'll see how quickly or if Kyra gets going down there. On a hop, it's bobbled, recovery, that will be a run, and that's what we're talking about. Bloodworth couldn't make the play, albeit not an easy play because it was a tight hop.
60 feet at a time. Just cannot give away at bats. Making something happen here and thought she had a chance. It was just an awkward play with the ball. That middle hop is always the shortstop's worst nightmare. You have a little bit too much spin.
She'll get credit for a single and an RBI there, although I think Bloodworth will tell you that's a play I'm supposed to make. They got Shockey the first time. She bounces that one up the third base line. Shockey scalded a ball right back through the circle. And at the last moment, Riley Crandall threw that glove down right by her spikes and made a fine play, keeping a runner at the moment in third. And Dakota Kennedy.
Arizona doing a good job right now getting the ball on the ground. That might have been a point of emphasis yesterday, but look down at how many outs they have been issued and no balls in the air. So everything that has been out has been in the ground and on the dirt. And that's something that you absolutely talk about. If you're just trying to say, what is our point of emphasis today? It's make something happen, especially when you get those runners on base, which is not what we saw yesterday. So let's get the ball on the ground.
Shockey with those hands spread apart. 80 hits a season ago, already 56 this year. Last night as she rolls that one out toward Jenna Sniffen, who vacuums it up, quickly zips it on across to Diamond, one away. What an unforgettable moment for a team that has, because they're adding and reimagining and working on their beautiful ballpark. 25 years of Cowgirls Stadium. They're away a little bit more than usual this year. And all they've done is win challenging games away. And they originally built their beautiful Cowgirls Stadium for just a couple of $1 million.
That would not go in today's era. A little more than that.
Yeah, it's been a real amazing home from 21 to 24. The Cowgirls 20-1 in regional and super regional play. 20-1. High fly ball. Hassler sends that to the wall. Gone! For the 9th time this year, Amanda Hassler enjoys a tour around the bases. Boy, that one kissed the clouds. It was a mile high.
And this was a hitter in her last at-bat. Remember, she sacrificed bunted over to get the rally going to set things up for Carly Godwin. Well, here she has a clear inning and shows us why she's the #4 hitter for Oklahoma State. And what a good pickup in the offseason for Coach Krajewski. Coming over from NC State. We've seen her behind the plate the entire season. So you're holding it down behind the dish, but then also providing some power, extra insurance, and leading your club in home runs.
I don't know the salute, but I love the celebration. I don't know what exactly it is. That's hit on a line, diving attempt out there. Kiki can't make the play. And so after the Hassler homer, Godwin's got her second hit. She's 2 for 2.
Well, when they get on first base for Oklahoma State, looks like they row the boat, keep things going. So I've got that celebration down. But yeah, it's like the Hassler. It's almost like 3 fingers in the air type of thing. Yeah.
Love it. This game's fun, darn it. Have fun. It's fun when you homer, though. Tight for the speedster, Delgadillo. Snap throw just in case to Escobar, who was trying to sneak in behind.
It's always a great situation to pick if you're behind the plate. Get a hitter leaning a little bit in a sacrifice situation. You can sneak that throw in.
High bouncing ball. Everything's tough about this one. And because of it, it's thrown off the runner who was already on the bag. That's an infield hit for the speedster. That's where she wants to hit it. She flew out to left first time up. A little bit of noise now for the Cowgirls.
There's the rowing the boat. There's no real reason for Sniffen to be making this throw. It's just one of those things you have to eat it, make sure nothing else happens. But hey, I will say this, Megan Delgadillo, both times that she has slapped at the plate, she has gotten base hits. And I called for the slap from her yesterday, finally got it late in the game, but I'm just gonna say that both times she slapped, she's made it look incredibly easy.
Christian Conrad just wanted to have a quick meeting. Takes a peek down that bullpen. I'm not sure if they'll start moving around yet.
The lineup for Oklahoma State, second time through. Now Clair Timm, 7-hole hitter, so a couple of batters away from the third time through the lineup. I wouldn't expect Arizona to wait that much longer before a pitching change.
Tara Vandewater is running out there at second base, 42 on that Cowgirls jersey. And the dangerous, especially in this series, Clair Timm. She hit the ball hard last time up to open up this game. Flew to the track and she's drilled. So obviously they didn't want her to extend her hands, but that's just an issue of command that time. That was nowhere close. And that may warrant a change. Let's see. You just kind of gave us a warning there. Timm gives the softball up to the veteran. Miranda Stoddard's going to get an opportunity to settle down this situation. Contact pitcher looking for to set up those pitches that are down. A perfect 7-0 this year. She deals over the outside corner. 55 innings of work. Doesn't walk anyone. Just 6 walks and doesn't strike out a ton. She's pitching to contact only 28 strikeouts. Electric 0-2. That had that downward drop, but also the spin of a screwball under the swing of the dangerous Michaela Wark. Got her, strike 3. We were advertising very few strikeouts, and there's a huge strikeout. That was almost like it had an anchor attached to it as it got to the plate.
It just fell out of the sky. Ton of movement. This is the pitch that you know she wanted last night when she was in relief in the 7th.
Gosh, there's no better feeling. I'm sure when you're tossing and turning last night, thinking about what occurred, you're just hoping that today comes, that you get a chance to work again in the circle. Bouncing ball, she knows it. Boy, what a cool customer making that play. It's a new day for Miranda Stoddard, and she came in with the bases full in the
I like starting with Crandall, bringing in the more velocity to follow Crandall, and also I like giving Coots a clean inning.
A Virginian. She zips that one in there for strike one. Kaya Altmaier leads it off. It's Altmaier, Devin Netz, and Stewart. This, the heart of the order. 3, 4, and 5 for Arizona. That one dives down and away. Coots went 4 innings on Valentine's Day against Kentucky. Did not give up an earned run in a win. Had 4 great innings against Baylor on the 23rd day of March in a win. Didn't lose a game in her high school career, not a single loss, a 44-0 career, and hit very well too. As that one is low, 3-1 the count.
Just missing on that backdoor curve, trying to work the outside corner to Altmaier.
Just outside. Everything has some life to it. And spin started that one middle, but it was off the plate in the end. She's an interesting study as an athlete because she is not just a softball player. You might wonder, well, what's the other sport, Aaron? Bodybuilding. And it's at a level, go check out her Instagram, where you can see there is, and you can't really tell with the full uniform and the sleeves here, but there is a physical presence. You can tell how hard she works. And it's at the level of, you know, multiple medals, multiple events. And it's a passion of hers, certainly in the weight room.
To be able to keep that up and keep that as a passion for someone that is a pitcher at D1 level, at the Power 4 level, like, it's just a lot on your plate, but it's one of those things where if it's important to you, you make it happen.
As she's a unique follow researching, we always take a peek at the social media of these athletes to learn about their off-the-field passions. That one's a bolt off the bat of Devin Netz, off the wall on a hop. Out front, Altmaier. They'll stop her at third. Netz into second with a double. You can't hit it much harder than that.
Two hitters I was looking at in the lineup for Arizona to be better today was 1 Dakota Kennedy and 2 Devin Netz. See, the shift is on, so she knows she's going to be pitched inside, but beats the shift, able to line it out to left center. And look at the emotion. When you haven't been able to provide for your team, it feels good.
She pitched so well, so deep into her game last night as a starter. 6 1/3, 3 runs allowed. Talking about Devin Netz as Stewart takes outside. But you could see her hit the wall in her outing last night. And when she did, right choice was made to go to Stoddard. Stoddard just wasn't able to execute. And she left it all out there. Both pitchers did. That was a fun matchup of gutsy pitchers last night who will tell you I wasn't at my best the whole time.
I think for both pitchers, it was not pretty, but it was gritty. And I always say that the first inning and the 7th inning are the hardest innings to deal with as pitchers. And for Ruby Malin, it was the first inning that was a little bumpy. And for Devin Netz, it was the 7th inning that was a little bumpy. Usually you get in that rhythm in the middle and the meat part, but the start and the finish is always where you look at.
Well, everything pretty firm right now from Coots. Let's see if she backs off at all. 1, 2, no way. There were flames on the back of that pitch. That's strike 3. Good old-fashioned hardball. That's a big strikeout.
What a huge strikeout for Coots, especially after the big hit. You feel the momentum of the home crowd, and you have another power hitter at the plate, Sydney Stewart, just straight attack mode. That curveball had heat.
Did she get a commitment there? They want to know. She did not go around. Miranda Stoddard, who grounded out to third back in the first inning, hit it really hard, was on it. Well, this is fun, power against power. Goes right back over the outside corner, 1-1 the count.
Coots looks much more comfortable against right-handed hitters than she did against Kaya Altmaier.
Thought about dropping down a bunt. She'd do that on her own, if you're guessing?
Had to have.
That means a lot to me if I'm Coots seeing that. I'll be honest with you.
I agree.
I tip my cap. Thank you very much. For one of the more prolific power hitters in this conference. I mean, I'm taking that every day of the week.
100%. And obviously, it was a foul ball, so a free strike. You just kind of feel that mental chess match a little bit. All right, you're going to bunt.
To me, that's just, if I'm pitching, that cracks the door that you have a bit of doubt, that's all.
Yep.
And that's why. Stoddard goes down on strikes. A bit of a flex here for someone who flexes a lot away from the ballpark.
Just stepping up. Just going to turn the meter up a little bit. Velocity picked up.
Jenna Sniffen with a big chance. A walk and a double. You want to talk about a loud first base dugout if they get out of this mess. And you struck out 20-plus home runs combined back-to-back, just going after him. Katie Coots, a sophomore. Great student in high school, didn't miss a beat, well above a 4.0. 1-1 on a line, down for a base hit, and it slips on by. Into the corner, look at Jenna run. They'll stop her at third. They thought about sending her as a relay throw skipped away. Jenna Sniffen didn't hit it hard, she hit it perfect.
Wow, just taking the momentum back here. And this is so unfortunate for Coots in the circle for Oklahoma State. This ball cannot get by you out in right field because there's no one to back you up. If that happens in the gap, so be it. Your center fielder is going to have your back. But when you're playing the line as an outfielder, you cannot overcharge that ball.
Single and an error. I think you'll credit her with both RBIs, though. The error moves the runner all the way to third. Clair Timm, the hero last night, couldn't make the play as that one just skittered right on by. That bunt has popped up. That's got to be an empty feeling running after that softball.
Didn't spend a lot of time out in the outfield during my days playing softball, but I would have to agree that's probably a very lonely run to the warning track when you don't see anyone behind you. You know you just got to go get your error. It's tough.
Well, here we go. You thought that home run may separate again. Arizona has not had a scoreless frame offensively. And it really did feel like, as Coots paints the outside corner, that Coots was going to get out of it.
Yeah, what a weird kind of turn of events. Arizona jumps on it, 2 runners on, the place is electric, and then all of a sudden Coots comes in, slams the door, 2 big power strikeouts.
You got to give a little credit, too, though, to Sniffen. She's watching. Yeah. She's in the hold, and she's in the on-deck circle, and she's seeing the power, and she had to think, and the approach showed it, I'm not trying to match power with power. I'm not going to do it. Little channel score. Not even close.
I agree. I agree.
Now, you can't end it 4-4, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, but I know what you're saying. I think there's more runs coming aplenty on both sides.
Pretty pitch. Pulled back on that one, 0-2. Sinker changeup. Drop ball changeup. Ouch, boy, that got just outside the chest protector. Oh, boy. Stewart reaches to that shoulder. That left shoulder just got a nice sting to it, and that doesn't feel good.
This is an off-speed pitch. You can see her just leaning into that ball coming up from the dirt. Didn't back in, like, I feel like my T-ball days, they used to have, like, flaps on the sides of the chest protectors, but now that we're leveled up, the uniforms are much more sleeker and sharper. But I feel like when we were young, we used to have those shoulder pads on the sides.
A little bit extra.
Yeah.
It's just, you think about that discomfort, just getting squared up in that spot. I think you just hope adrenaline kicks in and works its way through, because it's going to be sore a lot. From now until tomorrow. It's one of those, and you can see it on her forehead when you have a moment like that. And just the sweat starts to come on your forehead. You're so uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's really in pain.
So important to this team, and it's been such an important add in the transfer from Washington. It's a simple answer catchers will give you as she receives an ovation from the crowd. Best position, most important, because you can see the whole field. You're the only one. But there are also the pitfalls of what we saw a moment ago.
Man, and they're just tougher than nails. Thumbs up.
God bless her heart. You and I both former pitchers, different diamond sports, but we love our catchers, man. They're everything to this sport. They check on her. They make sure, like Bartling does, need a little more time. Let's go back to work. Well, let's hope she's okay. No long-term effects. 1-2 the count on Edwards. 1-2. She rolls that one. Foul. Foul. The hands go up from behind home plate from Mike Bartling. Boy, just to the right of that bag.
Sitting on the changeup. Edwards has been dialed in since her first at-bat yesterday. She gets so in her legs at the plate. I don't know if you'll find another stance like hers in the country.
She skipped her senior year at Southmore High School, was at Oklahoma State at 17. Not a bite there, 2-2 the count. Instead of going to prom, she's playing in the Big 12. Two beat her in. You know, I always notice and praise it when I watch it, how fearless is Stoddard is coming into righties. That was an effective pitch into a lefty.
Yeah, really well located, that drop. Not only do you get the hot hitter out, but it's the leadoff out.
Well, look at the English on that one as it dives away the screwball action. Diawarsa. Singled in a run, scored herself back in the first inning. Firm over the outside corner, 1-1. Good to see Stewart back there popping and framing up. That shoulder hopefully is okay. 2-1 the count. This seems to be a fun matchup. Help me out here. So you've got a down ball pitcher and you've got a hitter that wants the ball down.
Miranda Stoddard, she can elevate. Has the ability to throw a rise. Haven't seen it a ton. There it is. Goes up and in. I love to throw slappers up and in. That is the pitch that they do not want to deal with a whole ton. You can't get your barrel there. It's all about getting the barrel, getting the bounce. And so they're looking for something low and out, to your point. And so how do you counter that? Well, I like to go up and in.
I pulled the string on that there, trying to get a bite.
Have to be very careful on the changeups to slap hitters. If you're going to hang something on the outer half of the plate, they have the ability to just throw their hands. Legs are gone, of course, running through the box, but if the hands stay back, that can be a base hit.
Bouncing ball. Oh, my goodness, Beal! Oh! a laser beam with a bad hop. Taylor, what are you doing?
This should not be fielded. I'm just going to say it. That hop, wow. But it's how she sees the ball so deep. So if you field that and your feet are level, are shoulder level, and you're kind of barreling it up, you have no chance that hop is going to bite you. It's going to go right over. So it's all about the angle of making sure that you're open, seeing the ball a long hop. That left foot has to be back. She is so good at her angles at shortstop. And it's why she has the ability to just get all these balls late, fired over first.
Yeah, she's probably been looking forward to this rematch. It was Rosie Davis that took it into the bleachers last night, a 3-run home run against Miranda Stoddard. Just off the plate, 2-1. As that one rolled foul.
I love the off-speed look there from Stoddard. Giving a hitter who took you deep on the drop on the inside part of the plate, giving her a different look. It was that drop inside last night.
2-2, blew her away. I bet that felt good. An incredible defensive play.
Different level. Have made them relevant every single year. Does such a good job in the transfer portal in the offseason. I don't know if there's another coach in the country that does a better job in the transfer portal in terms of finding the right pieces at the right time, bringing in talent year after year.
So he comes out. We held up his opportunity. Paige Dimmler, meantime, while we were having that conversation. All right, so heading out. Rachel Hathoot will go to left field. Sorry, Kenny, we didn't mean to take your time while you wanted to make a change there. And then Dimmler.
All right, here we go, scorebook. Updated.
Dimmler playing in her 28th game this season. In the pre-interview, I asked him the company who makes those frames between innings when we're connected. He shared it with me, and I'm gonna have to start saving. Just gonna leave it at that. So those are the best frames on any coach in the country. Tell us about Dimmler, because the numbers have been good when she's out there. I mean, really good.
Paige Dimmler, one of 4 seniors on roster for Arizona, saw a lot of time earlier this season when All-American Dakota Kennedy was out with injury. It's kind of just been that 4th outfielder on the roster where you just don't have enough spots. And her bat has been so clutch when her name has been called time after time this season.
Yeah, active hitter. Doesn't walk at all. And I say that, she walks. That's the 3rd time she's walked this year, folks. 3rd time. She's one of those hitters where the average is almost the on-base percentage, but not that time. That's fun. That's fun to have something to go on in your game, which rarely ever does, which speaks to your ability to slow the game down. And the door will be open for Kiki to come back in and run for her.
Well, Oklahoma State has not made it easy on themselves. Here in the 4th inning, every single time Arizona has been able to get that leadoff runner on, twice it's been on a free pass. I looked down at my scorebook, and all 3 of those leadoff runners prior to Dimmler getting on there have come around to score.
Beautiful bunt, Dakota Kennedy, and she is on. Deadened it about 6 feet out front of home plate, hugging that 3rd base line. You called for Kennedy to have a good night. She's 3 for 3.
I would hate to play the corner against Dakota Kennedy because we know how hard she can hit the ball, and then she can do that drop and drag. To me, I'm like, man, that is not fair. You have all those tools. So hard to position yourself defensively to defend both. And not only is the sacrifice bunt, but you get yourself on base as well.
Shockey has that one sail right by her. To the backstop it goes. Runners move up. That was right up under her chin. 1-0 the count. Katie Coots throws hard and is all about the power in the attack. Had a couple of huge strikeouts an inning ago. Nice play just to keep it there with you. Amanda Hassler. Arizona has scored every inning in this one. 2-0. 3-0 now.
Good time for a timeout. I like the senior and Hassler feeling the moment, quieting the crowd down a little bit, and just giving your young pitcher a breath. It's a very big moment for her in the circle. You don't want to let another free pass. Of course, 3-0 count. Tough to come back, especially the top of the lineup here for the Wildcats.
Slapper Shockey wags that bat behind her helmet. Earns herself a walk. Now, that's not as surprising. You know how hard you have to work, by the way, to walk Dimmler and Shockey? That is a very difficult thing to do. They are engaged as hitters. They want to swing.
Yeah, slap hitters usually expanding the zone a little bit. See Acock warming up earlier in this game, so you know she's ready. Here she comes.
Kyra Acock, the Georgia native. She gave this team 75 1/3 innings a season ago. This year, a little bit fewer calls to that bullpen, 15 1/3 innings. Coots is done. And much like Coots, command has been her bugaboo. 15 1/3 innings, 17 walks and 7 strikeouts.
A smaller pitching staff than Arizona, but has some good velocity. Another right-handed pitcher, so not a ton of diversity in terms of what you're going to see scouting-wise. It's going to be a lot of spin side to side, high 60s, and all righties. Of course, Ruby Malin is still in the dugout. To be honest, Aaron, if Oklahoma State's able to come out of this with minimal damage, I would not be surprised if we see Coach Gajewski go to the All-American and try and secure the series game this close.
Oh, that's such an interesting point by you. This is a big if, though, with nobody out and the bases full and a team that just kind of seems to... That's why she's a good analyst right there, folks. That's why I love calling games with her. She's down there working, grinding. I remember, too, when you talk about the pitches, it was a heavy workload last night. It was 141 pitches. How does that go, Ken? So you're probably in your pregame, you toss, and you're reporting back pretty quickly how you feel, right?
Absolutely. And Ruby Malin, it's been a heavy workload for her this season. Has the most innings pitched in the Big 12 Conference. You're coming off of a long game, grueling game, but yeah, you do a little jog, a little stretch, check in with the team. You're not touching a ball until the game. But this is a very important conference series for both of these squads.
Acock zips the first one over the outside corner to Kaya Altmaier. The 1-1 count now, as that one missed high. Freshman year, Kyra was all Big 12 through 95 innings with a 3.22 ERA that year. 2-1 the count. Northgate High School in Noonan, Georgia.
It's also just worth noting how difficult it is to come in cold off the bench to a game in this type of a moment, bases loaded, middle of the game, and you haven't touched a ball in the series. Like, that's really tough.
That one is high, that one is a run, and it's an Arizona lead. The third walk in the inning. Walk, single, walk, walk, 5-4. I think you made a good point as they shifted around 3 defenders on the left side of the infield now for Devin Nets. It's a good look at the defense for the Cowgirls. That one steps away, far enough away for another run to score. Escobar a moment ago. This is Kennedy scoring on the wild pitch.
Just balls not around the zone. Hassler doing everything she can to keep that in front of her. Looked like that pitch was supposed to be outside. It ends up to her left.
Devin doubled back in the third inning. Rounded out in the first. Nets has that one skip away. Nice job defensively. Couldn't throw it once she had it though. Rosie Davis, who made a very similar play earlier in the game. That one just ate up Megan Bloodworth. Bases loaded, bases full, no one advances.
Nets just hits this ball so well off of Bloodworth to Davis, and it's a little bit out of position, so you can see Altmaier playing with her a little bit. Reagan Shockey, base running. To me, you've got to get an out there. I think there's plenty of time to throw over to first base to get Nets out. But you can just feel the heat of the moment, the chaos, and the speed around the infield for Oklahoma State.
The little moves. Hassler, they got her down off the end of the bat. That's when Stoddard is right. That's the result you'll see. One away. By the way, Logan Cole made that play. She's now out there at second base. Hard to believe it was a couple of years ago that Stoddard, upon leaving Kentucky, took an entire year off. Completely did not play softball, went home. And it helped her discover how much she actually loved the sport. To me, the difficulty of hitting the reset button and coming back and doing what she's done, kind of crazy.
When you think about how much Arizona relied on Stoddard a season ago, so you're coming off from your year off, quote unquote, and hey, do you mind pitching 2 games a weekend? It was that kind of season for Arizona, really thin in the bullpen.
Long run in right field and covering a ton of ground is Kaya Altmaier.
And this is exactly what you want to see if you're an Arizona fan. You put up all those runs in the fourth and you come out and Miranda Stoddard just firing strikes, letting Oklahoma State hit it to her defense, getting some quick outs.
Get him right back in the dugout, they always say. They're fighting at the bat rack. You want to let them get back in there and fight for the bat. 0-1 the count to Megan Delgadillo. She singled back in the third inning and flied to left field. Megan, a record setter everywhere she has gone, whether it be at Poly High School in Riverside. Gloved like a cool customer. That's a key point. We brought that up, talking about her taking the year off, and then you come back and you said she had such a heavy workload, which she did as a pitcher. Didn't pick up a bat in a game. It's almost hard to describe that you could do that. And look, she hit a bunch of home runs in Kentucky. It's not that she had never hit successfully before, but that's 2 full years off from hitting.
Very difficult to do. I remember I hit a little bit my freshman year and dabbled my sophomore year, and then it was kind of like, all right, we were a smaller staff at the time, so let's focus on the main thing. You have all these teammates around you. All right, let's pitch a little bit. And then was able to redshirt my senior season, and so that would have been 3 years where I'd really taken an at-bat. I remember Coach Candrea, it was my senior year, we were playing UCLA, and he was like, hey, I want you to go pinch hit. And it was my 5th year, and I hadn't hit since my sophomore year, and I'm looking at him going, sir, I know you're crazy sometimes. This is real crazy. Got an at-bat my senior year, but
and
the ball looked very small. Let
okay.
me just leave it at that.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. I think we can guess the result then.
We had some foul balls in there.
Okay, well done by you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Dakota Kennedy is working the count full. Bounces that one to the middle of the diamond, just past the shortstop Bloodworth into center field for a base hit. Well, she looked like she was able to do that in slow motion. That's a 4-hit night for DK.
All about the bounce back for the All-American. See where Bloodworth was shaded. She was shifted way to her right.
Shockey with Altmaier, who you were talking about a moment ago, waiting on deck. Shockey has walked and scored. Otherwise grounded out a couple of times tonight. Just a sophomore. Remember watching her play for the OC Batbuster Stith. Mascarenas, an alum of this program on that staff.
So, pitch prior to that, we had a pitch clock violation on Reagan Shockey. Was not in the box within the 20 seconds, so count.
1 and 2 then.
Yep, 1 and 2.
That was a good 0-2 pitch then. And an awkward swing. That turned out to be a costly clock violation, to your point. In an inning where, let's be truthful, in that dugout, they're thinking we need 2 runs here. We know what they can do, and we just as soon shut her down. It's easier said than done at this level, though. And to your point, we were talking about earlier, the possibility of Malin. Do you go for it with the bases loaded? What do you do? Now for Aycock, this can be positive. You can absolutely make it positive. Very positive. It's a simple and a serious goal, too, for teams that are on the other side of a score like this. I want my team to keep hitting.
The more at-bats you see in a series like this, if the score holds, we're looking at a rubber match for tomorrow. And so you just want to have as many at-bats against all the pitchers.
Heck yeah.
Give me all the data.
That's ball 4. And to your point, you know, the pride of it, it's not just pride, but the thought is we want Stoddard to have to empty the tank a little more. We want her to have to work. We want her a little more fatigued tomorrow, when in all likelihood this hitter will be in the circle as the starting pitcher, Devin Netz. We're all set for a rematch of Malin Netz tomorrow. Again, unless the Cowgirls explode a bit offensively, then they may give her a call.
I feel like she's one of those pitchers that just can't sit still when she's not out there doing her thing.
Catherine Ogg comes out of the dugout. And so a pitching change for Oklahoma State. This is a wonderful opportunity for Catherine Ogg, who has only worked a third of an inning. And trying to keep it right here at 10-4. Net skies that one, shallow center. Long run, that one is put away. Megan Delgadillo, second out of the inning.
From Arizona, I'm bummed about that result, especially you have not seen any pitches from Og in the circle, you have to make sure you're on time. There's no hurt in taking a pitch or two in that situation.
Emily Shep came on to work defensively because we talked about Sydney Stewart, who hit a grand slam, by the way, taking that ball on the shoulder when she was catching. So Shep goes to work, the sophomore out of Torrance High School in Torrance, California. They're telling us in between the commercial break what an incredible defender she is. What a great catcher. The 21st game in which she has played this year. Back in January of 2023, it was Emily making her verbal commitment to come play here for the Wildcats. Played for Mike Stith and the OC Batbusters. Oohs and ahs for that foul ball. To the right side, it is down. Off the bench, Shep with a base hit against Og. 11-4 the score with a couple of outs. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, that was impressive. You have that long foul ball down the line on an inside pitch, then you know where the next pitch is coming. It's going to be outside. You stay back, keep your hands in the slot. Make sure you don't lift it. Og a little bit lower in velocity, so sometimes as a hitter you have to try and slow yourself down, make sure that your hands aren't too early. Nice piece of hitting.
Miranda Stoddard, who has come into the circle to quiet things down, now with the bat in her hands. 0-1 the count. Catherine Og, the senior. Pitched an inning and a third last year for Oklahoma State. Played on a backhand back there by the senior, or the junior, I should say, Hassler. Unique experiences away from college for Og, and unforgettable. Has played for the Hungarian national team because of her family heritage. Competed in the 2021 Women's International Championships. Inside and off the plate, 3-1. One more run, they're saying, in that third base dugout. 3-2.
Did we make a play?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. There were some young ballers in front of him, and they were kind of judging a little bit.
3-2, 2 outs. On the ground towards center field, Delgadillo charges. They'll force the throw. The head first line, ball game.
That was much needed for Arizona after last night. We knew that we were going to get an offensive game after the pitcher's duel with the aces of Devin Netz and Ruby Malin. So day two, the fireworks were on, and Arizona set the tone in the first inning. Scoring in every single inning. They were 5 for 5 with those leadoff runners getting on, coming around to score. To me, that was the difference. A little bit of fun here with the walk-off for the senior.
She was important too in the circle. She provided some quiet. And I think she may be important coming out of the pen tomorrow should they need her behind Devin Netz. Well, this series has not disappointed. And I know who is chomping at the bit to get back out there tomorrow. Number 66 for Oklahoma State, Ruby Malin.
I mean, give me a rubber match in this conference between these two teams, top 25 matchup. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a good one.
In all likelihood, it's Devin